The second thing about driving the 720S fast is how balanced it feels. This also conveys a hint of danger, at least at first encounter. Drive this wrong and you'll pay for it. Get accustomed to the car's responses, though, and it floats through corners. This McLaren doesn't oversteer or understeer so much as it just corrects course with the right pedal application. The only exception to this is when the rear wing pops up as an air brake at decelerations above half a gram and you feel a noticeable weight shift to the rear. There are 3 modes each to both the suspension and powertrain: Comfort, Sport, and Track. McLaren representatives noted the elimination of Normal as the default setting, which is a nice touch. Sport and Track progressively tighten up the dual clutch automatic shift speed and loosen up the stability control threshold. Then there's variable drift control, which McLaren is keen to point out is not a magic drift mode but more of a variable setting to allow more and more yaw. In function it's similar to other graduated track modes like Chevy's Performance Traction Management, but more oriented towards potential hunnage. You can also turn everything off for full cars and coffee social media embarrassment. Then there's McLaren Track Telemetry, MTT, a $2,620 option on its own or $4,220 lumped in with front, rear, and in-cockpit cameras. This is the part that makes the 720S both a driver's car and a driving coach. MTT delivers a full suite of telemetry and lap timing, plus a split-time display in the dashboard. Inside the car you can review video, look at data like speed, brake pedal force, and steering angle and compare it all to a reference lap. In my case I learned that compared to McLaren's Pro Driver I chickened out on Vallelunga's Curve Grand, but did some good hard braking after the back straight. Hooray for me. It will also show your theoretical fastest lap from a sessions by taking the best splits, just like in Formula 1. And you can download the data and video to a USB drive for further analysis or social media embarrassment. McLaren's cars have always delivered an amazing combination of comfort with the performance. If there's a unique angle to the cars from Woking, other than not being Italian, it's that they meld all that performance with plenty of comfort. A major key to this is proactive chassis control, McLaren's name for its hydraulic suspension that moves pressurized oil between the corners of the car. The newest evolution of this adds 1 accelerometer and 2 pressure sensors in the damper at each corner. The fun fact is that the 720S does it without anti-roll bars. The practical upside is that, especially in comfort mode, the McLaren's ride is amazingly compliant, bordering on downright pleasant. If you long for spinal punishment, track mode stiffens things up to barely tolerable levels on public roads. Along with the complaint ride is a spacious cabin, which is a surprise given how wide the doors are. There's more than a foot more car beyond your elbow. Even for a wide car that should make for a cramped cabin, but there's plenty of shoulder room and the abundance of glass in the cabin keeps things from getting claustrophobic. Cars this expensive that sell in numbers as few as the 720S have resale values that are tied closely to odometer mileage. Which is a shame, because McLaren built a supercar perfect for long distances. It's even user-friendly. Whereas Ferrari makes you fuss with pulling both shift paddles for neutral, the 720S has 3 big buttons for drive, neutral, and reverse. So the McLaren 720S is a car made for driving, both on the track and, well, anywhere. And you can actually buy one, unlike the obsessive vetting process for the Ford GT. It's safe to say that in its short history McLaren has carved out new ground in the supercar world, both in terms of accessibility, at least to the moneyed, and expanding the breadth of capabilities. It's also safe to say that the 720S is McLaren's best regular production car yet. At least until the next trip around the sun.